God, I love this fight.
Not a good place to. You love this one, don't you?
Love this fight.
Well, I've just spent an hour talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to take this.
So
if you want the,
I wonder if that's going live.
If you want the real detail. When's it going up?
Well, it should be going up now, I think.
Yeah.
Or at some point today. It was all a bit short notice because obviously I was at Cage Warriors, yeah. Oh no, it's on now.
There is
2,500 people watching.
Live.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
There is something about heavyweights, isn't there? There's just something about them that, like, I remember, like, even as a kid, the three things that the country stopped for: heavyweight boxing,
Heavyweight boxing.
Everyone got around the TV. Heavyweight boxing. The whole country stopped for it. Evander, Tyson, Bruno. Like, the country stopped. 100-meter final at the Olympics every 4 years. The country stopped for that and watched it. And obviously, when England played football, everyone watched that. But the heavyweights ground the country to a halt, didn't it? And, you know, people who didn't even like boxing would watch it. And you get that, you know, you just know why. There's just a different level of respect that goes into humans of that size that are trying to punch holes in each other's head. Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, it's like we were talking about earlier, like... So if you take a big chunk of the population, if you take 100,000 people out of that population, and maybe 5-10% of them are potentially heavyweight, right? Most people will look at these fights and go, I don't know how I would deal with that. I don't know how I would negate that power and that force coming towards me. And that goes for Stipe as well as Ngannou. Obviously, Ngannou represents a greater power. So then you think to yourself, like, I mean, that does seem to be considerably more threatening. But then there are a few people that would look at that and go, okay, that's a problem I can solve. Then if you move down the weight classes, like if you put 2 bantamweights on the top of a card, your average pub man that weighs over 12 stone thinks he could have a go at these kids. Yeah. You know, he's good. Mighty Mouse, he's good, but, you know.
Look how small he is.
Exactly. And that's the thing that devalues these guys. And it's unfortunate, but it's true because, like...
It's such a wild misconception as well, isn't it?
It is, because, I mean, and oftentimes they're the guys that are considerably more skilled because they've had to be, because the talent pool's so much deeper. Yeah. You know? Like, you don't get guys as reckless as Ngannou in the lighter weight classes because they get filtered out. Quick. Whereas at heavyweight, that power becomes very, very real. Yeah.
And just physics in it, there's just so much more power when you're that size. There's just so much power. It's funny, like, when you look at Ngannou, you think he's just this monstrously big guy, but being in rugby, like, he's a big dude, but he's just sort of like a big dude. He's not that big. Yeah. Like, there's bigger dudes around in field sports, but it's just he's lean, he's big, and he's obviously pretty scary. But he's 118 kilos, 6'4". It's like, it's all right. It's a good second row.
But the force he generates is pretty. Yeah. Well, I mean, we were talking about the punch thing earlier. So, this is where, and I kind of feel for him in a way, because obviously, you know, he's left his original team. He's not with Fight Factory anymore. So he's in Vegas and he's training out the PI. And I mean, he's a superior athlete. So he's the PI show pony. Like, every time someone comes to take a tour of the building, it's like, hey, Francis, come and do the punch thing. Come and do the punch thing.
I love the PI. It's the last place he needs to be. It's the last place he needs. He's got all of the things the PI can offer him. He's got them.
He's got them.
In fact, leave him alone. Just leave him alone. It's fine. Yeah. You know.
But that's the problem. He's like, he's the show pony. He's like, oh, do the punch thing.
He needs to be with the best technical striking coaches he could find in the world. Yeah. And he would be unstoppable, but he's not at the level. You have to be of a level, but he's not at the level that he should be at with the raw materials that he's got. Yes. Yeah. Bloody nice guy, though.
Bloody nice guy. Isn't he? He's a massive human being.
Yeah. There's a great piece on our channel. V did a great piece. V, he's obviously on our channel. Just a nice. I thought it came across really well. He's just a nice dude. You know, he's living his dream, come from humble beginnings and what have you, and he's fought tooth and nail to get where he's got to, and he's got there. And
it must be very surreal for him still.
Yeah, it must be.
Can you imagine? Yeah. Like on the countdown show, trying on suits and driving fast cars and stuff. It was just kind of...
It's just a cool story. I love
it.
It
is really, really cool.
I love that story. Maybe they'll make a movie one day about it.
Oh, for sure. I think they would. They would. So what I was saying earlier about the press conference and watching Stipe, and then watching Stipe as he's hearing Dana talk about this Ford Escort analogy about, like, if I'm Stipe, if I'm DC, I'm trying to put myself in a heavyweight body with skills that could possibly negate this. So then I start thinking to myself, well, what is my perception of that? And my first thought would be, yeah, but this is not a punch test. Like, a punch test is like drag racing. It's like putting your foot on the gas and going as hard as you can for a quarter of a mile. Like, an MMA fight's like cross-country rally. It's like a Le Mans. Like, you have to manage the engine so it doesn't fall apart. Yeah. You have to deal with rough terrain. Yeah. You have to deal with intangibles and people crashing into the sides. It's chaotic.
The only thing that would be a better analogy is two Le Mans racing, one going one way, one going the other, and have to dodge cars along the way. You're going opposite routes at the same time.
I don't play racing games unless you can crash into other cars. You know what I mean? Like Stipe. So, I mean, I pulled this part. I've literally spent 3 days on this fight, and there's. If I'm Stipe, I can see loads and loads of ways to win the fight. Loads of ways to win the fight, but every way is dangerous and difficult and requires him to be on his best behaviour at all times.
I've got the same similar analogy, not analogy, but similar notes down here, in that there's Stipe has to make sure 10 things go right. He has to be on point on 10 things, and Ngannou only has to be on 1 point once on one thing, and he wins. But the first round of that. The last time they fought is an absolute masterclass. It couldn't have gone any better for him, other than obviously getting a result in that first round. Mate, I thought it was an absolute masterclass. He got his respect by landing his hands on him. Stipe got his respect. He bounced in and out of range. He made him miss. He moved.
Forced him to grapple.
He went in the single leg. He swapped to double legs. It was. Yeah. He shot a beautiful time to double leg under one of Francis's haymakers. Shot in double leg. Bang! It was just a masterclass. It couldn't have gone any better. So he has a blueprint. He absolutely has a blueprint. But it still comes down to one slip up, and it's probably over. And some of those uppercuts that miss by...
You watched my breakdown yet?
No, I haven't. Honestly, I haven't. But I should do. We should always do this after you've done it, so I can appear way more intelligent than I am. Mate, we're talking centimetres. A couple of centimetres one way, and he just gets sat down, and we've seen it so many times at that weight.
I picked out 3 clips on the breakdown show for the uppercuts, and...
it just catches here. Or
that's it. The first two the first one just misses him. It goes up past his head. It goes up that direction as he's level changing. The next one, you can see Ngannou's kind of curved it, but it still just misses him.
Yeah.
The third time it lands and that kind of stuns Stipe, and that's where he does that big drive double leg all the way across the octagon.
Yeah. Because he just right at the last minute just turns that, cuts that angle and takes him down. Yeah.
But I will say this about Ngannou: he's got excellent work with underhooks. Like, he digs underhooks really well and works himself out of bad positions. And also, obviously, because he's got such good uppercuts, he can punch those uppercuts into place, and then they become an underhook.
I mean, I just can't get away from. Stipe has 10 things to execute on, and he'll win the fight, but he has to execute on every single one of them, and Francis just execute one once and it's done. But
it's game over.
Yeah, it's instant death.
Yeah, but that's why he's the underdog again.
It's just it's the.
If they fought 10 times,
high stakes poker, high rollers table in it. Proper high rollers table.
If they fought 10 times, how many times does Stipe win?
I don't know how this works in this context, because
it's what does Lex call them? It's a thought game or something. He has a word for it.
Like just like says that as well.
Yeah. Which way do you go?
Thought process. Something I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I think I tell you what I think. I think every time Stipe wins, the chances of him winning again are higher.
Are
higher. Because he's replaying this blueprint. He's replaying. I've got a blueprint. I've got a blueprint. I've got a blueprint.
I disagree with that.
Tell me why you disagree with that.
I think that stands as long as it's in the same fight. The more success he has in the same fight, the easier it's going to be to have success in that fight. I think the more time he fights Ngannou, the less chance he's got of escaping that chance of getting caught with a knockout shot.
But it's like flipping a coin, though. If you flip a coin and it lands heads, there's no more or less chance of it landing heads or tails the next time because it's a random event.
Yeah, but then at the same time, Ngannou's learning from one fight to the next.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know? And the thing is, he'd adapted his uppercut 3 times in 3 attempts. Like that also and the thing is, it's an instinct thing, isn't it? When you're such a powerful individual, you just need to connect. So it's single mindedness. There's his head. Okay, I need to hit it with this.
Don't overcomplicate.
No, like where's it going? Okay, it's coming down here. It's coming down here. Oh, I missed it. Okay, second time. Let me have another go. Okay, it's coming down here. Oh, I just missed it. Okay, you know what I mean? Like eventually he's going to get the right trajectory on that punch, or Stipe's going to switch sides one time for whatever reason. That's the coin toss that is MMA, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to watching your breakdown, but it's just a fascinating matchup, especially at the weight and the consequence that it's at, and it's just I love it. It's hard to not want Stipe to be the champ. He's just like a blue collar hero, and he's just like solid, nice guy, tough, does everything, never cut a corner in his life type thing. And I'm not saying that Francis is any other way, but just it's just Stipe's just a likable guy, and he seems like he's a good, solid, respectable champion of heavyweight champion of the world. I'm going Stipe.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
You didn't think I'd say that?
No, I didn't.
You would, yeah.
Strength and conditioning coaches always side with the greater athlete.
No. I'm a performance coach. See all sides of the equation.
There's that what's it called? The Chris Eubank interview right before he fights Nigel Benn. And he turns to the camera and looks right down the eye and talks to everyone that betted on the puncher. And he's like, you've all made a mistake. You don't bet on the puncher.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'll listen to him. Yeah. He's a smart man.
So is that the way you're going? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. he knows how to do it, doesn't he? He knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, fascinating. Looking forward to it.